Us.
Hello, hello, hello. It's Deborah Razzo here from the Women's Real Estate Network, and I'm here with Katie Kim. Hi, Katie.
Hello, Deborah. Thanks for having me.
Katie is going to be our next speaker at our WREN monthly meeting event, which is next Wednesday. It's March 13th. Oh, sorry, 12th, March 12th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah, get those dates right. Wednesday, March 12th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And Katie is going to come to us and talk to us about unlocking real estate development. Real estate development. Okay, so Katie, I have not met a lot of women in development. So how did you even, ferret out this for you?
Yes, and I don't work with a lot of women in development, and that's what we're looking to change, right?
Yeah,
So, I
absolutely.
actually grew up in a real estate development construction family. So I used to say my family bonding time was, going to soccer practice and then building walls, or hitting volleyball practice, shingling roofs. So I would be, tagged along with my mom on open houses. I mean, you name it. Yeah, I say I was a victim of child labor law, which my parents don't like, but
Oh, I'm jealous. Look at me. I'm jealous. I'm like, where can I raise my hand for that?
yeah, but yes, but the thing was is when I was learning all that stuff when I was growing up, I was learning one side of the development process. I was learning the field work. I was learning the actual like labor and materials work, which was great. So I know how to go in and view a job site. But like all, I shouldn't say all, most kids of family businesses, they want nothing to do with it. So I went away to college and I actually have a master's in computer science.
Oh,
And I
okay.
did consulting work with technology 3 to 5 years to market and found strategic profitable solutions and then implemented them. And that's as fast as I can tell you without putting you to sleep. So,
Okay.
so I would say my friends would be like, what did you do?
Yeah.
But I loved it because you're going into businesses and you're finding out what's wrong, what's the opportunity, and what's the probability that we can get a profit here, right? So really similar to development. However, after that job, I went to work for a startup, and then I went back home and ran the family construction company for about 12 years. I found that being in construction, there are not a lot of women in construction itself, but what I found is I wasn't being fulfilled. And so I really leaned into the design build process that we did. And I came up with this developer for fee model where we had a lot of women business owners, we had a lot of aspiring developers come to us and say, I want to do this, but I don't know how. And so we basically, I said, well, we can do that for you. And so the developer for fee model guides them through that process and really lets them control the decisions, control what happens, and we do our own development too. I can't stop, won't stop. And I just love being able to, transform the community and do projects that are really fulfilling because you get to really make an impact on your community and you get to build financial wealth. And now my kids at, their young age are now saying, hey mom, like, can you teach me how to do that? And it's
Yeah.
fun to see it come full circle, full circle.
Okay, you said so many things there that I have to like back up. I don't know if you called me. I was scribbling, making notes here. I'm like, okay, I want to ask her about this. I want to ask her about this. I want to ask her about this.
Yeah.
So, first of all, I just want to say what a unique opportunity for you as a young person to be able to see all these different businesses, right?
Yes.
Because I mean, you get to peekaboo, right? You get to peekaboo. You're looking at the different businesses without having to actually run the business, right? So you're kind of learning how, I mean, a business reflects a person, let's face it,
Yes. And a personality.
and a personality, right? So
Yes.
the short-sightedness of a person, because we all have our blind spots, let's just face
Hmm.
it. The
100%.
short-sightedness of the person is reflected in the business, as well as the vision of the person is reflected in
Yep.
the business, right? So,
Yeah.
but how unique that you got to like experience that when you were younger and got to see that, I have to imagine that for your development for a fee, it rolled into that because there's
Yeah.
a lot of the similarities of seeing meeting somebody and understanding how they run a business and then actually developing for a fee is really working with them in that way, right?
Yes, and you hit on a lot of things there too,
Okay.
because working for a developer for fee, a lot of times businesses don't know how to leverage themselves to grow. And that is a huge part of going in and assessing. I call it the bathing suit conversation. Like I want to bear everything, right? Like show me the scars, show me the warts, because then I know where to start and help, right? So a lot of one of the case studies we're going to talk about is the Trusker's Bakery project where we put them into three times the space for one and a half times the cost. And they were in a
Okay, hold on.
building.
Say it again. Say it again. Three times the space for one and a half times the cost. I mean,
Yes,
this is like a business blessing, by the way, isn't it?
yes,
Yes.
it is, but they didn't have the capital to do it. So we worked with
Mm.
them to put 8 financial sources in to make it happen. And we structured it also in a way. Here's another bomb I'm going to drop on you, Deborah, is that our investors in 4 years got 353% return.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
So if you
beautiful,
want to
right?
tease on that case study, that
Oh,
is how we really that's the impact you can have when you
right,
think differently and you start with I want to make an impact.
right.
I want to grow my company. I have a good company, but I don't know how to do it. And they were renting, get this number, since 1861.
Oh my goodness, how much they've
Because
given in rent, right?
yeah, because nobody showed them the way. And honestly, it was in that experience that, if I can be blunt, just pissed me off that nobody's helping this small business in our community build financial wealth.
Yeah.
And I think that is the same, and I know it's the same with real estate investors, with more business owners than we care to imagine.
Mhm.
And it's also not being taught the way to go into it. And so one of the things we do, which you hit on it, it really goes back to my consulting days, is we come into the situation and say, okay, what is your, if it's a business owner, what is your business need? Where is your business growing? What are other revenue sources you're leaving on the table? Right?
Mhm.
How do you invest in those? Do you need a space that is conducive to that? What's your
Mhm.
growth pattern? If it's
Mhm.
an aspiring developer, it's what impact do you want to make? Why do you want to make that? Are you in
Mhm.
alignment with it? That's a big thing for me. I'm just going to tell you that's when we talk about the opportunity and development,
Mhm.
there are 7 stages of development. Okay. So you can niche on each stage, right? Each
Mhm.
phase. You can then niche on each product type, right? And when somebody says, I want to get into development, it's like, well, what do you want to do? Do you know how to fix and flip? Do you know how to burr? Do you know how to do this? And then do you want to? And are you going to build the company and your investments to be able to handle this for growth? Or are you going to hate life in a year and have to go back to the drawing board, right? So that's one
Right.
thing we're going to talk about too, is the opportunity in
Mhm.
development and how to get in a
Mhm.
sane way and scale.
Yeah. Okay, I love this. And those of you that are listening, I love the fact that she's giving us a case study. I love case studies. Just tell me there's pictures because I love looking at pictures as well.
Oh, tons of pictures. And we were the highest lead-based paint content on the building that the state inspector had ever seen in his 35 years. So you
Oh
want to
my
talk about pictures? We got some good pictures. There
Oh,
we
good.
go.
Okay, I can't wait. And then also, I just love this development for a fee, and I think that, and I know next Wednesday you're going to be unpacking that in a big way. And
Big way.
so I want to just say to the audience out there and to the women out there that are interested in this is a different way of approaching development. And as you can tell, Katie's approach is so business centric, which is
Mhm,
like is so amazing, right? Because you've got a built-in client, you've got a built-in customer for the building, and you're actually
mhm.
helping that business grow. So it's a win-win all the way around. I wanted to touch on one other thing that you've mentioned, and that is you were working in the construction end of things, but then you kind of went over into the design end of things. Now, I'm a flipper. I've done a little bit of development, nothing like you, but I love seeing something brought to life.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how to say it any other way. And I have to imagine that you are someone who likes this too.
I do. I do. So my husband made me coin a different phrase of potentially beautiful. Because I would go into buildings that were, had 5 fires or like the floor was falling apart. I'm like, this is so beautiful. He's like, Katie, you can't say that. this is not beautiful. I'm like, okay, it's potentially beautiful. And it was interesting with the bakery project. When he came in, and we give him a hard time about this to this day. He was like, okay, so when we tear down this building, which way are we going to put the new building? And we're like, what do you mean? This is amazing. And he's like, okay. And every step along the way, even the bakery owner's parents were like, I don't see it. I don't see it. And then when it was
Yeah.
all done, they're like, this is what you guys saw from the beginning. I'm like, mm-hmm, this is what we saw from the
And
beginning.
it's
And
funny because I think there are certain people that get to see that, you know,
yes,
like I know my husband isn't that person. Like every, you know, quarter home that I walk in and then I'm like, oh, I need it. I need to buy this. You know,
it's
he's like,
great.
you're kidding, right? I
Yeah.
hold my nose when I went in there, right? You know, I'm
So
like,
you can use the phrase potentially beautiful then. It's
potentially,
potentially beautiful.
potentially beautiful. I love it. Okay, so
Yes.
once again, Katie is going to be talking to us all about development and specifically development for fee, which is really helping businesses out. So this is not only geared
And
towards
developers.
and
We've
developers.
also we also work with developers on it, because if people want to learn how to do it and learn their community, I
Mhm.
want to be able to teach them that too. So we have a lot of real estate agents that come to us and say we want to maximize our transition. We want to maximize that ROI on the transition.
Right.
We teach them how to come into the deal. So
Oh, I love
definitely,
it. Okay,
yeah.
so listen up out there. This is for agents. This is for investors. This is for developers. This is for business owners. Press
Yes.
the link below, register, and join us Wednesday, March 12th at 5 p.m. Pacific time. And we will see Katie there and we'll see that sexy case study.
It'll be
Thanks a lot,
good.
Katie. I look forward to seeing you then.
Likewise. Thank you, Deborah. Appreciate it.